Page 68, this is a 3-minute technique. I'll go ahead and cover the music theory a little bit there on 69 too. At the top of the page, they're covering parallel promenade. They have a piece up there. Parallel motion means you have two or more things going in the same direction at the same time. Here, both are going up at the same time. They're staying the same distance from each other. They're parallel. That's parallel motion. We get a lot of it in piano. The problem with piano is that in doing it, you look at the notes and saying, oh, look, they're all going in the same direction at the same time. This is easy. And no, because you're using different fingers. Because here I'm using little and thumb. Now I'm using ring and here. The middle fingers are together, but that's it. Otherwise, you're using different fingers, but this is good because you need to develop that feeling of using different fingers and be comfortable with it. So on parallel promenade, I'm not really going to play it with you. It's just, you're in a pentascale. Remember, pentascale is a 5-note scale. You're just going up, staccato, flex at the wrist, then connect it. The second line is the same thing going the other way. Good practice. As far as how fast you go, that's entirely up to you. Just keep it a steady beat. Dynamic, it is good practice these at different dynamics, but you need to switch them. If they have you doing the staccatos loud and the legato or the connected smooth, that's fine. But then when you repeat it, switch them and do the staccato soft and then the connected loud. You want to get used to doing these dynamics and all these different things at the same time. You practice them. Now on the bottom half of the page, then they talk about contrary motion. And contrary is when you're going in opposite directions and think, oh no, they're going opposite directions, it's terrible. Actually, it's not too bad most of the time because you're using the same fingers. See, we naturally want to do everything as a mirror, and that's contrary motion. So here we're using the thumbs, then index, using the same fingers. It makes it so much easier because then you just concentrate on one hand and let the other hand go along for the ride, is what I typically do. So this is it. Looks hard, but it's really much easier. I'm not going to do play with me's on this. Hopefully you can handle this. The idea is to understand parallel motion and contrary motion because we talk about them occasionally and it's good to know what they're about. The music theory page on page 69 is a little test to see how you're doing. Don't do much with these. You're always welcome to ask questions on here. That number 1, they want you to draw in 5 notes in the bass clef C pentascale. They show them to you first, and then they want you to write them in second. All you got to do is copy what's there. The trickiest part is the stems. The stem on the first note goes up and the rest go down, and that's because the rest are on the middle line or above, and when it's the notes on the middle line or above, the stem goes down, and that's why they do that. Then number 2, they want you to draw in the notes based on the note names. Like they gave you the C, D, and E example, and then you do the same on the others. Let me know if you have questions. You really need to know the names of these notes. Number 3 is in staccato improvisation, where you get somebody to help you play a duet part, and while they're doing their thing, you play some made-up melody, all staccato, all short notes. Just end it on a C. When you're end it on a C. I'll explain why we end these things like that later. Right now, just end it on a C. If you have a teacher, somebody around who can read the notes there in the teacher duet part, they could play those notes while you make up a melody, improvise something. And at the bottom is, again, listening. And I don't get into that too much. Can you tell if they're being played staccato or connected? Legato. Yeah, whatever. If you have any questions on page 69, let me know.